How's it going? Okay, so we have a bingo on our, like, the reason why I'm playing right now is I'm trying to figure out how do you lower the dodge rate per account. So one of them is always play normal, don't play flex. The second thing is I noticed that first two games on any account is like your first game is usually a win. Like I'm talking most of the time. Like I can't really tell you statistically, but I'm telling you most of the lobbies you see, if account is like fresh, you're probably gonna win your first game. Okay, so naturally, if you want to play League of Legends every once in a while, get a win, guaranteed winners queue, buy shitloads of accounts for €1, like 50 accounts. Okay, and I can vouch for first two games probably gonna be a win, right? So you have 50 accounts, you have 100 games that you can win in a row. Trust me when I tell you, once you start playing League of Carry, you're not going to be addicted to League anymore. Because it's slightly more interesting than playing versus bots. Honestly, today, the bots that like the jungle, they take dragons and objectives with you. They do a lot of stuff that humans do. Like some bot games are very similar to League of Carry games, but usually the game is like finishes in 15 minutes. Okay, so bottom line, if you want to have very low dodge rate and win very very quickly, buy a lot of low level, buy accounts basically, right? I'll tell you where to buy them in a second, right? And then your first two games probably gonna be a win. You still have to dodge every once in a while, because I mean you sometimes see people, they're just like first time in champions, he's like Iron 4, 29% win rate, and he's picking Yasuo. It's like dude, like Yasuo needs hands to play, and his KDA on Yasuo is like 7 deaths and 1 assist. You gotta dodge. There's just no way you're gonna win with this guy. He's gonna, because you see, you're gonna be coin flipping. You're gonna be thinking, I played some. This is why you see, like I have a 80% win rate. Naturally, I can get to 100% win rate, but I'm experimenting what you can get away with. Okay, and also sometimes I don't think it's realistic to get 100% win rate, because sometimes, I'll give you an example. Your team is stacked, like everybody's like 56% win rate. Their champions are good, and then you start the game and you look at the enemy team and they are all diamond players with like 70 plus win rate on their champions. There's a difference between like a Riven player who is like, I don't know, let's say 8 games and they have 56% win rate, they have normal KDA, versus a guy who have very high KDA and he is almost master level. And sometimes you get like 3 of players on the opponent's side and they're playing like Riven Ahri and something like Senna, which is like such shit champions. But because they're so good, I mean, they're gonna trash your team. It's like, it's still gonna be playable to some degree, but I'm telling you, you're just gonna get trashed. It's way, way, way too difficult to play against those guys. And they're gonna be probably on comms, so they're gonna be like clearing the vision, and then, Ahri is gonna stun you, and it's difficult to play. It's just, so occasionally you're gonna run into this, but most of the time, I'm talking like 9 out of 10, probably even more, maybe 95%, your first game is like super easy. And most of the time when this like happens, when you're against like basically SKT, is at night, because there's just not enough players, so it just finds like a match, whatever. Right, so I didn't notice it happening during the day. So you see, like, my dodge rate in here is 2.5 games, so I effectively halved my dodge rate. Now what I'm doing now is I'm monitoring accounts for, I noticed that some accounts consistently are in the winner's queue. Like these accounts here is just like, I don't know why, but they're just like consistently in winner's queue. Every single lobby is always good. So I'm monitoring dodge rate per account to see, because some accounts are gonna be winner's queue prone, some accounts are gonna be loser skew prone. And I noticed that there are some accounts that are just like very, very loser skew prone. This one here, for example, like for no reason whatsoever. I can't explain it why. Because all of them have been bought on the same market. Like there's really they're all botted accounts. They're like this one's completely botted accounts. So why is one like one is just consistently winner skew prone? Well, I don't know. It's just some random stuff, right? But okay, let me just give you some evidence. One sec. Okay, so I took 5 accounts. So look, first 2 games wins. This one was a difficult game because no, this was not a difficult game. I think our Severe just massacred everyone. Like, you still have to play well. You have to remember, you still have to play well because some games are close. Now, why I like this system over just randomly queuing up and playing, because when the game is close, it's fun. And when the game is like I don't want to play with people that are just feeding. And this does not happen on your team. Most of the feeders are usually on the enemy team. If that's the case, you just win in 15 minutes, whatever, it's done. Okay? Like, because it's such a head wrecker when you try to win the game and you have the Shaco who's like 0-11, just like trolling. This does not happen in League of Carry. This is why, like, it's enjoyable to play because it's predictable, right? Well, it's not predictable, but I mean, it's either you win or the game is equal, in which case, because you're a good player, you win as well, because you can contribute. You still have to be a good player, so you still have to watch your replays. Like, all the usual coaching stuff applies here. I'm just trying to eliminate the bullshit of coaches telling you that every champion works. No, it doesn't. You have to play an OP champion in a position where it can carry, right? And so what's another one is you can win any game, and the reason why you're losing is your fault. No, it's not. It's your teammates. 99% of the time you lose because of your teammates, right? So I'm trying to eliminate that as well. In that case, if a game is equal and I've been outplayed, I'm down with this, right? But if I have Nami 0-20, first time in a champion, account win rate 11%, that's not my fault. It's impossible to carry these people. It's just horrendous, and it's not like it's not an experience that I want to play. Yeah, this game was very difficult because our mid laner was just on a feeding spree. I honestly thought that might be a chance, because you see, that's what I'm saying, is that an extreme feeder can solo lose you the game. But we got very, very lucky. This guy AFK'd because they lost 2 very important team fights in a row, and we got the dragons, and then this guy just effed off somewhere, and that's it. So these are the evidence. So it works. But most games are kind of straightforward. Most games, your team is crushing it. All you have to do is take time with dragons. Don't feed. Play the map correctly. Be in the right places at the right time. Like the usual stuff. At this stage, I can tell you, when you play League of Carry, coaching is actually going to work for you, because you have to be a good player to pull this off consistently. And if you're playing against feeders, they're going to be on enemy team, so it's going to be like 15-minute game, free win. Another thing I want to talk about is when you play League of Carry, you're not addicted to the game. Like today, well, let me show you. 1 second. Like, think about how many games did I play. I've been on holidays since 11th of December. Okay? So I played 17 games in 13 days. That's like 2 games per day. Because most of the time I'm doing programming. And this is like I said before, like this is slightly better than playing against bots. It's a little bit more interesting. But you don't have this thing where you're just like, oh my god, I just lost 2 in a row. I can't stand this shit. I need to win just to justify all this time because I just went 5-0 and my team still... Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have that. It's kind of like you're just relaxed and... It's dopamine. It's just like, it's you can play... I can play GTA 5 right now. I'm not like staying up at night. I go to bed proper time. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have addiction. In League of Carry, you're not addicted to League. You're playing it as a game. Like, same way you play GTA, same way you play, I don't know, StarCraft, campaign. You can kind of play this game as well. It's like, honestly, it's a completely different game. It's like the engine is the same, but because the psychology is so different, it's like right now, I can safely say that, okay, I can come after work and win a game. And the way to do that is you buy a lot of new accounts, and every first 2 games is a win, right? So all you have to do is play on a new account, and that's it. You're probably gonna win. If you want to stretch it to like 10 wins in a row, probably you're gonna have to sweat a bit. You either have to dodge a lot more, which is time consuming, or you're gonna have to... But I don't know, like I'm a very, very good player, so I don't think I'm gonna... Well, I'll see. I just need to do like test the system a bit more. But I'm telling you, if you just want free wins, I don't know. I want to come from work. I want to win a game of League of Legends. Buy a lot of new accounts, and your first game is a win. Just you still have to dodge maybe once or two, but I mean you can spend 1 hour and guarantee a win, pretty much, almost guaranteed, because of the way the system works. I mean, it's engagement optimized matchmaking, because they want you to be hooked on the game. There is in casinos it's called beginner's luck. There you go. It's the same system in here. Especially if your account is dormant, like it has been used in a while. I noticed that on some of my Russian accounts. They haven't been used in like 3 years. If I play first game, we usually just stomp the enemy. Because in Russian server, everything is so one-sided. Like, it's very, very obvious in there when it happens. So... yeah, okay, so where to buy the accounts? 1 sec. Okay, so I normally tell you to go to G2G, but I had a bit of a problem with them. Is like last time I did League of Carry was April. Was it March, April? Right, so it was almost a year. I logged into my old accounts, which I had like 50 of, and none of them worked. So I reached out to G2G, and some of them worked, but I could see other players playing on my accounts. So I reached out to G2G, I said, hey guys, like, what the hell is going on? Why accounts are either banned, not accessible, or somebody else is playing on them? And they're like, oh, whoops, you're out of warranty, so we can't help you. I thought it was very, very strange. Because I paid for the accounts, I have the rights to them, but they either changed the login, or they resold it to somebody else. So when you buy an account, always, but it was probably maybe my fault, because they tell you to change the login, but I did not expect this type of behavior. You know, like, because I'm from Europe, when you buy a car and somebody gives you keys for it, and they tell you, hey, change the lock, you know, you don't expect that the company that sold you the car will come in after 1 year when your warranty expires and just take your car and be like, oops, sorry, we can't help you. You'll be like, yeah, but I bought the car. It's my car, right? But they're like, well, we kind of resold it already. It's weird. It's weird. I don't want to talk shite too much, right? But it's like, to me, this type of behavior is like, what? It's kind of like ordering a cleaner, and then you come in and your laptop is gone. it's like, what? What does, like... Do you know what I'm saying? Like, at one side, somebody can tell you, hey, It's your fault. You should not leave valuables. But like in an advanced civilization society, this just doesn't happen. Like it's such a like third world behavior. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't expect it honestly. But okay. But bottom line, what I'm saying is, when you buy an account, wherever the hell you want to buy, always, always, always change your login details. You have to change the email and the password, and you don't have to have multiple emails. You can bind everything to a single email. I have like, I don't know, 40 accounts, they're all on the same email. But you have to change the password. Otherwise, they're gonna take it or resell it. I'm not specifically saying that this can't, but I'm saying that they might, so I'm just saying that. And it's good for you, for your peace of mind, because you know that, you're playing, I don't know, if you want to play flex rank, your MMR at least is going to be saved, because, if you're trying to rank up the account, which is, I would advise you not to do, but in case you want, you need to make sure that this account is yours, because otherwise, you've been dodging for like 6 months, and then you won all of your like 10 games, your MMR should be probably like Diamond 1 or something like this, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, the account is gone, and you're just like, oh my god, my badge is gone, no! Right, so make sure to change the account details. Alright, so in here, I bought from this guy here. I'll show you who I bought from. Now, it says there 12... I went with... Where's the... Yeah, lowest price. I went like this. And then... I was debating whether this guy or this guy, but he had a good ad. Like, really, really good ad. Because it tells you, full access, blah, blah, blah. And it says 12 hours, but he delivers, like, within 1 hour. So... And he has, like, 100%. And he responds as well. I wrote to him and he responded, so... I'm not sure about the other guys, but I mean, I'm happy enough with this guy. Now, the only problem I'll tell you with these accounts is that sometimes you get very low blue essence and there is nothing to sell in the crafting shop, so you can't even get a champion. So I bought 20 accounts and 3 of them don't have blue essence to buy Tryndamere. I tried gifting system, but in gifting you have to buy RP, and buying Tryndamere is like 3 times more expensive than the account, so it's cheaper just to buy 3 accounts from here, and then you get, most of the time they have enough blue essence to buy at least like 3 to 5 champions. But it depends on what champions, of course. But we're talking like they will have at least 2,000, maybe 3,000 blue essence. So I don't know, if your champion is like super, super high level, I don't know, some kind of a, who would be like Hui or something like, which is expensive, you probably want a different vendor, because these accounts are not really guaranteed. And also by level, if we look at the level, they average, what was the average? Level 23 by average, right? Yeah, so we also have 4 in here. Well, let's just see. Yeah, so the average level 23. So you see these 3 accounts I can't really play, and this one I can't really play as well because it has like Masters MMR, and queue time is 16 minutes. So I'm like, whoopsie. But I mean, still, think about it. Like, I mean, you're paying €1 for an account, and it's a bit of a coin flip, but maybe I'll try a different vendor. I'm thinking, but there's loads of them here. Just be careful when it says, because some of them are very kind of dodgy. Because look, you see, when it says fresh account, it means it's level 1. So make sure you don't buy like level 1 account. You see, because it's like a total. You can just like create it yourself. Because level 1 account, you can't play normals. You have to be like level, I don't remember. It's like level 10 or level 16, I think. But 20 is definitely, you can maybe buy. I'd say if you need a lot of blue essence, you see these ones. I was thinking of maybe going for these guys here, because they have a lot of blue essence. You see there's like 10,000 blue essence in here. So you see, like, you can just... Yeah, sometimes they do that. It's like crazy. You have to contact them then, if that happens. But it didn't happen on this one. So I don't know, like, G2G versus this, I don't know. Like, it's either this one or you can use G2G. One sec. Yeah, so you see, originally I bought these guys here on G2G. Now this one says rank ready, but if you click into them, I don't know, the reason why I'm kind of like, I'm moving a little bit away from G2G is because these guys here have better descriptions. Whereas on G2G it's like, well, actually, honestly, this one looks very good. It says like rank ready. So there you go. I mean, for €1, this is almost the same price as these guys, which is 105. So this might be a new vendor. Like, the thing is I don't like is because they don't tell you if you have access to account or not. Because when I bought this one, he gave me email as well that I could change. But in here, you see, they don't tell you whether you have access to account. It could be the case where you can't change the email. And if you can't change the email, you're kind of doomed. It accounts, it's like, well, you can still, if you can change the, well, you see, if you try to change the password, they're going to request a verification code in your email, and since you don't have access to email, you can't change the password. So at this stage, you're just kind of renting an account and hoping that they are not going to resell it. Now, I'm not saying that these guys will, but I'm saying it happened to me with one vendor. I'm not gonna shit talk the vendors. And again, you see in here, they don't specifically tell you. I can probably contact them and ask them, hey, can I change the account in here? Change the secure, fully verified, and ready for placement matches. Yeah, you see, they say sometimes maybe you have to play some placement matches. So they're referring to the 10 games. And again, you see, they don't tell you that you can change the instant account. Send to your email amount purchase, you see. Like, ideally, you want to buy this with 30,000 blue essence. And they did deliver. When I bought, they did, in fact, have shitloads of blue essence. But the problem is, like, if you can't change... If you can't claim the ownership of the account, you are kind of in a sticky situation. But bottom line, like, buy an account wherever the hell you want. I'm just saying that, you know, this one worked for me, and then there was another vendor. I'm not going to poop talk them, but... It worked. I suppose if I maybe changed the email, it would have worked as well. But again, you see, because I didn't do that, I don't know whether I have access to email or not. That's the problem. So I can't really advise you whether it's going to work or not, alright? Anyway, bottom line, if you want a guaranteed League of Legends win with very low dodge rate, buy a fresh account, play well, and your first, well, and dodge, minimum dodging, fresh accounts is the way to do it. Just think about it. Like, another thing I want to stress out is, the final thought would be, once you start winning games in a row, your perception of the game becomes like it's gonna be like a decision whether you should play GTA, or you want to, I don't know, watch some YouTube video, like, or do some programming. You don't have this buzzing feeling in the head of just like, oh my god, I need to win. I need to compensate for all this bloody time I wasted with my shit teammates. Because it doesn't happen. right? Sometimes I do lose games, but I'm thinking, when I lose games, I'm thinking to myself, God damn, I should have not taken the gamble on the guy that is like that, the Vigor. If I was to lose that game with Vigor, I would have blamed myself. I said, man, I took a gamble on this. He had 0 games on Vigor. 0. Right? And he had no rank, nothing. Just completely 0 games. But the other 4 players, including myself, were exceptionally good. So I thought to myself, worst case scenario, we can probably win 4v5. Right? My only hope in then was that the enemy team was not stacked with good players. And then you see that the game was like very, very close. If that Tristana did not AFK, I don't know if we would have won or not, because that Vigor was just like completely not doing anything and just dying all the time. So it was 4v5. So, but it's a different game. What I'm saying is that you'll be more relaxed, and I think that's the way to play League of Legends, in my opinion. I think like the direction of League should be that we have team builders where you have a person who is a team organizer, and then once they recruit and then people queue up, he can then kick players or accept players, and they can exit the team or join a team. And then once everybody agrees that this team is good, we can probably win most of the games, we then go into the queue. And then another team on the flip side does that, and then you have balanced game. Because both teams entered queue knowing they have good players and knowing they're gonna win. So that's what I'm saying, is that I think that's what I'm doing effectively right now. Is I'm only playing games with team that I'm happy enough, as opposed to having like, I don't even want to, like, you know yourself, it's like crazy. I mean, it's like 11% win rate Nami. This guy like never played Nami. He's a shit support. 22% win rate on over 100 games on an account, and he picks like Nami, which is like, dude, if you don't have hands, play Alistar, play Nautilus. So many easy supports. Blitzcrank is another one. Like it's not that difficult to play Blitzcrank. Even if you miss your hooks, you can just like run into them because you're so tanky and just press your whatever, the thing that pops them up into the air. Why? Like why? It's just some propensity of those feeders to play those difficult champions. It just drives me insane. But League of Carry solves it, right? Completely solves it. Okay, so that's about it. So that's my rant. Bottom line, again, if you want to guarantee a win, you need to make sure you're a good player, buy new accounts, and your first 2 games probably gonna be a win. Okay, take care. Bye bye.